Let's make a deal.
Don't tax us.
Oh, no, God, no.
Please do yourselves a favor, go back and watch that. I, right now, will just go ahead and repeat myself once again. You do not amass a fortune by giving it back to the society that made you wealthy in the first place. You do not amass a fortune by putting money back into circulation into the system that made you wealthy in the first place. You do not amass a fortune by playing by the rules and definitions that you tell other people. You amass a fortune by telling other people one thing while doing something completely different. To the people out there who ask the question, when and where has socialism or communism or whatever ism you were told to be afraid of ever worked, that video explains it. It works for the wealthy. Always has, always will. But they'll continue to tell you that it doesn't work. You know why? Because you cannot have rich people without poor people. And you can't have either one of those people without the successful poor people. I don't know what's hard to understand. I always will, however, applaud the wealthy people for getting everyone else to believe that they're playing by the same rules and definitions that they're telling you about. I applaud the wealthy people for getting people who make $45,000 a year to defend them. That's an unbelievable, seriously, round of applause. Because it just doesn't make any sense. You know, I've heard some good things. Let's go through a few of them because I remember listening to people tell me when Elon Musk was buying Twitter how wealthy people, they don't have cash. I said, okay, how is he going to go buy Twitter for $44 billion? Well, he's going to go find investors and borrow the money. So you mean more than one person has that kind of cash? Okay. And then when the investors went, nah, we don't want anything to do with this, guess who bought it on his own? You know, I made the statement once that once you hit a financial level of success, you no longer have a credit score. And somebody went, that's not true. The reason once you hit a financial level of success, you no longer have a credit score is because your assets and accounts become your credit score. So let me ask the question plain English. Do you think someone like Elon Musk really sits around and worries about his credit score? I know people who, they're not wealthy, but they're definitely well off. And they told me they haven't thought about their credit score in like 15, 20 years. I, I don't know what people think when they like look around. You know, you hear the land of opportunity argument, especially here in America. Let me just throw out a few numbers for you, and then you can do the math. In a global population of around 8 billion people, there are about 60 million millionaires, and somewhere in the range of about 3,000 billionaires. So you do the math and you tell me. Before you do the math, though, take into consideration that many of these people were actually born into money. So now you do the math and you tell me, are these people playing by the same set of rules as everyone else? And when you do that math and you think about that question I just asked, go watch that video. And again, that video is a small snippet of what really goes on. And as far as the long time debate of whether or not you can just print more money, the people who ask why can't you just print more money, and the people who say no, of course you can't just print more money, let me put an end to that argument. Of course you can print more money. What do you think profits are? How do you think profits are made? You have to print more money. Inflation takes place, more money gets spent, more money has to be printed. Guess who gets that money? It's not hard to understand. It's not hard to understand at all. See, when the poorer side of society needs money and starts to make more money, get inflation to kick in. You come up with all these excuses of why prices go up. If you notice, prices are always going up. Because if you're my age and you think about things like gas prices, you remember a point in time where gas was under $1. And no, it wasn't during Trump's presidency. This was back in the mid-90s. So, I don't understand people's thought process. You can't just print more money. Well, again, how do you think profits are made? But somehow, when rich people are hoarding cash, which we've already established, no one talks about inflation. But there's a lot of money going into the system, so we need to raise prices so that we can... What? But rich people are the one keeping all this money, and you have to keep printing because they're making profits and holding on to it. Again, you do not amass a fortune by giving it away. This isn't hard to understand. It really isn't. So let me simplify the entire thing. The financial rules that you think people are playing by, they're not. Only you are. Only you are.